Hi guys, welcome to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Gloria. I am 21 and I'm Christian, and I'm also a pastor's daughter, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be my first video. I've been wanting to film this for actually a really long time, but the devil is trying me. I've been having problems with my laptop, I've been problems with uploading, I've been having problems with my phone, and there's just been a lot that has been going on, but I think I'm finally able to record and sit down and talk to the camera. But this is basically kind of like a story time and even a testimony also about why I'm starting this channel and what inspired me to start this channel for a long time. I'll watch YouTubers that do vlog style videos and challenges and that type of stuff, and I've always wanted to do that, but I either get too shy or nervous or just don't do anything for it. So I finally am feeling ready and motivated and inspired. So what I'm going to be talking about today is my experience at the One Big Family tour, and what that was. For those of you who don't know, it was a tour that went on a few months ago, and it was a group of artists who went around the West Coast and were worshiping with everyone. And the artists that I had seen were Lovekin, Jonathan Ogden, Montel Fish, Isla Vista Worship, and also Ecclesia. So to make things a little bit short, because I can go on about this for a long time, because as I mentioned, it was something that kind of impacted my life and really made me change a lot of things in my life. But what basically happened was, I've loved these artists for a really long time. I listen to them when I'm baking, when I'm doing something. So I had seen that they were going on a tour, and I asked my sister if she wanted to come. We got tickets. So what happened was, I ended up seeing they had an Instagram page for the tour, and I don't know if it's just like the pastor's daughter in me, but anytime we have any church event or anything like that, we always tend to cater something, or since I'm a pastry chef, it's usually common for me to take some stuff for an event. So this was kind of my first concert that I've been to in a really long time. My last one was probably when I was around 10 years old. So this one, and I don't go out too much as often as most people would, because not only am I a pastor's daughter, I'm also a Latina pastor's daughter, so it's a little more strict on going out and that type of stuff. So this is something that I was really looking forward to. So when I had seen that email link, I clicked on it, and I was feeling just kind of like I wanted to share something with them, with the tour people. So I actually emailed them, and to make a long story short, in the end it kind of came out to the one of the artists telling me that I can hang out with them before the concert started, and I was super stoked because sometimes I do tend to feel a little bit alone in this community. I do have my church, and I do have people there that I've grown up with in church, but unfortunately there's not too many people that are my age, so at times it can get a little difficult when I want to talk to someone about my spiritual life, or if I want to talk to someone about things going on. There's not really too many people. So when they had told me oh, you can hang out with us before, I was super excited because a lot of them are kind of my age range. So and just in general, to be able to hang out with people you look up to and that inspire you and that motivate you, it's just kind of like a fangirl moment. So it was really exciting. So what basically ended up happening is they had told me I can hang out with them, and I offered to make them a cake, and I was just super excited, really looking forward to it. And to be completely honest and just raw, and just to be able to actually share why this is a testimony, a little before this concert I was kind of going through a tough time with myself. I was at a really low point in my life where it's a little scary to put this out there on the internet, but I was just very emotional a lot of the time, and I put myself down a lot. I was just being very hard on myself, and I was kind of in that mentality, in that state of mind, if I don't love myself, then nobody can love me, when in fact I do have so many family and friends who care about me and who constantly reach out and who support me. But in that time I was just kind of in that headspace of just feeling really bad about myself and having really dark thoughts about myself, and just not being able to feel motivated or inspired. Or I remember at one point even feeling like I'm not worthy enough for anyone or for God, or for, it was just, like I mentioned, just really like hard time for me. And even before the concert itself, I remember feeling almost anxiety, like maybe I shouldn't even go anymore. Maybe it was almost like something was making me feel bad about myself, to the point that I didn't even really want to be around people. So after, I was like, no, you know what, I need to go. Like, something was kind of telling me that I had to go, and I think it was, God and His Holy Spirit, because of what I was going through. And I was praying to Him, like, God, please help me, because not only am I a Sunday school teacher in church, but I also, like, am considered kind of a leader. Being the pastor's daughter kind of does have this spotlight on you when people are watching you, people are seeing how you react to things, people are seeing how you act. So I was kind of like, I don't want anyone thinking that, that a lifestyle with God is feeling like this, that, I didn't want people seeing me and saying, like, if that's life with God, then I don't want that, if that makes any sense. So I remember just feeling really down. And when I got to the actual concert, I brought my cake and some cookies, and then I see everyone, starting to, I think they had just arrived when I had gotten there too. So I was kind of having like a little fangirl moment. When you see some people online and you're supporting them and you're supporting their content, and you're just kind of like meeting them, you're just kind of like, oh my gosh, like a fangirl. And, due to the fact that I don't go out too often or don't talk to too many people, I'm a little socially awkward. So I remember kind of just like, I had so many things that I wanted to like ask them and talk to them about, but when it got to it, like I remember, I think Jonathan and Lovekin and like some other people were talking to me, and I was just kind of like doing small talk and like doing the bare minimum, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. Like afterwards I was like, I should have done this, I should have done that. But basically, to make things short, we weren't able to really hang out before the concert, due to some of the things that were going on. Like, they were trying to set up, so I was kind of like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't be here. Like, I didn't want to be there annoying anyone or being in the way of anyone. So I did try to help out for a little, but then I remember I left with my sister to help her look for parking. And that feeling that I was having before the concert, it started coming back to me before I actually entered the venue. I don't know what it was, but I just kept feeling these, like, it was like a season of darkness. It was just me feeling really down and feeling really depressed and feeling very upset. I at this point, I was kind of overworking myself, and to kind of get out of that feeling, I would be watching movies and TV constantly. But then once those were over, it was, back to reality. It was back to what life really was. So when the concert actually started, it was just, all of these artists are so talented. I think at the end of this, I'm going to include some pictures and video for proof that this actually happened. And then also, just so you guys can kind of see the artists, and I'll put down some links below so you guys can go support them and see what they're all about. Again, they're just really talented and just looking to worship God with others, and share their love for God, and they do it in such a creative way. One of the things that also inspired me to even create this channel in the first place was seeing them and how unapologetically themselves they are, and how they express themselves so creatively. And one of the things I think that really spoke to me is that, this was called the One Big Family Tour, and it kind of basically was a one big family, because in a family you have different characteristics, different opinions, different styles. And then it's the same thing with the artists. Like, you have Montelfish is completely different genre than Isla Vista, and like Lovekin is probably a very distinct genre from Ecclesia, but they have one goal. They're all together to be able to share God's love. And that's one of the things that I really appreciated from this tour itself, because sometimes you have like tours where it's just kind of like the same type of music, but for this one it was just different genres and different expressions of their love for God. So when the concert started, I started feeling this kind of like, my heart started opening up again to being happy and being worthy but the main part that really changed a lot in my life was when Isla Vista went on. I was gonna say Mark Ruffalo, not Mark Ruffalo, Mark Barlow, the leader of Isla Vista. He started, singing his set, but he also started ministering and praying for the crowd. And at one point, when he was actually praying, he said something along the lines of, God, I pray to you that anyone in this crowd who is feeling unworthy of your love, to help them feel worthy and to help them know that they're loved by you. And in that moment, my heart kind of sank, because it was kind of like God knew exactly how I was feeling and, what emotions I had inside of me, and the fact that, it felt almost like it was directly ministered to me, like I was supposed to be there and I was supposed to hear that. And I think that was after the song Captured or before, but that song now has more of like a very personal like connection to me. So I remember just wanting to like cry, but I didn't want anyone to see me, so I was like, I'm not gonna cry. But I was just very touched and just I felt heard. It's almost like I was like, Mark, who told you I was feeling like this, if that makes any sense. But I just remember just thinking, wow, like it's so crazy that I was feeling very like worthless and very low, but I heard exactly the words I needed to hear in this concert. The rest of the sets went on, everyone else went on, they were really great. And I just remember after the concert, after the sets and everything, I remember just feeling like, okay, I needed this, I'm ready to go back to being myself. I'm ready to not be at this low point anymore. I was feeling motivated and I felt content with myself and with my life. And I know for a lot of you it's probably maybe like, oh, you just heard a few words, but in that moment it just felt like specifically towards me, and just like, I don't know, it just really touched me a lot. So after that, I think they were starting to close the concert, and my sister and I were kind of like, all right, let's head home. And at this point it was maybe like 10:30, so like 10 already, my mom was like, ¿Dónde estás?, which means like, where are you? So I was kind of getting ready to like head out, and then I remember I had gone up to the merch table. So I had gone up to the merch table, and I had seen like this shirt that I really wanted, one of their tour shirts, and I was looking at my size, and I remember Christina Lovekin, she's, I believe, Lovekin's sister, she was there and she was kind of helping out with the tour, and I had told her like, hey, how are you? And she's like, hey, you're Gloria, like you're the one that brought the cake, right? Thank you so much. And I was like, no, it's okay, like thank you for letting me bring that. And then she had asked me like, oh, what size are you in like the shirts? And I was like, oh, I think I'm this one. And I was getting ready, my sister was gonna, I believe, pay for my shirt too. So we were getting ready to pay, and she's like, oh girl, like don't worry about the shirt, like just take it. And I was like, wait, what? And she's like, no, like you blessed us with the cake, and we're really appreciative, so just take the shirt. And I don't know, like in that moment again, it was almost like God was like, Gloria, you're feeling like this, I'm gonna make sure you don't feel like this. So it was like one thing after another. So first it was being able to meet them in general, second it was hearing those words ministered to me, and then third it was like having something given to me just because, like it was just kind of like, wow, like I felt more empowerment, like I just kept feeling better and better. And I was just super thankful and super blessed. And after that, I was like, oh, well, do you think I could take some pictures with some of you? And she's like, yeah, like everyone was super nice. So she's like, yeah, like just maybe wait a while or talk to someone, and maybe we could take some good pictures with you. So I had gone up to Steven and was like, hey, like and he's like, hey Gloria, I'm so sorry that we couldn't hang out with you before, can you stay a while? And me, not even like thinking twice, like, yeah, sure, even though my mom was like, where are you? But I texted her like, hey, we're gonna be a little later, and usually she's kind of like, no, ya vente, like come home already. But this time it was really like different, because she was like, all right, take your time, like God bless you. And then I was like, wow, okay, like she never says something like that when it's like late. So that was really like something like, I don't know, like out of the ordinary for me, for her to be able to say something like that. So after that I waited a little while to be able to wait for Steven, since he had told me to so we could take some pictures, and or at least that's all I thought we were gonna do. And he had told some of the members like, hey, Gloria's here. She's actually the one that brought the cake. If you guys can go and talk to her, say hi. And some of them did, and as I mentioned, I'm so like socially awkward that like they would talk to me and I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, like I was just really bad. Like I'm so sorry if any of you are even watching this, which I highly doubt. But if you are, I'm so sorry. Like I probably came off like a little standoffish or shy, but that's like anyone can tell. Like any one of my family members or friends like knows this, that if I just meet someone, like I'm very bad at just interacting with others. I think it's because trauma from my past, but it's okay. So at this moment, I don't know what came over me again, but I started feeling a little bit of anxiety of like, oh, I feel like I'm annoying them. Like I feel like I should go already. And my sister, she deals with all of my anxious stuff all the time. So she's like, just relax, just wait. Like, he had told you to wait, so maybe just wait a little longer. So we ended up waiting a little longer, and we're kind of just outside, like in a corner, like in a little alley, kind of. And Steven had to come outside, and he's like, hey, where's Gloria? And I was like, I'm right here. And he calls me over, and he kind of just tells everyone to stop what they're doing. And I was just kind of like, wait, what's going on? So he's like, hey guys, like I just want to take a second to, tell you guys Gloria is the one that brought the cake, so I want to take a second to honor her and appreciate her for what she did. And again, it was almost like God was like throwing me another one, like here you go, there's another like plus to how you're feeling so you can feel better. So I was just like, oh my gosh, like thank you. And I remember in that moment I felt super bold. Like as I mentioned, I'm super shy, so I was like, I want to say something too. Like, I'm so like thankful that I got to do this. Like, it's crazy how God works because, like I mentioned before, I bake when I when I bake, I listen to like their music, and it's just crazy like how things work out, and like I was able to make them something and just show appreciation to them. So kind of after that, Steven was like, hey, like let's take some pictures. And I was like, oh, okay, thank you. So we started taking like some group pictures, and throughout, like after we had taken our pictures, Steven had asked me, oh, like what's the name of your bakery? And I was like, oh, well, I actually don't have a bakery yet, but I want to open my own in the future. Right now I'm working in one. And he kind of called everyone up again, like, hey guys, like Gloria just told me that she doesn't have her own bakery yet, but she would like one in the future, so I want to go ahead and pray for her. And so they started praying for me, and I just felt very like moved and very like shocked, and I don't know how to explain it. Like it was just kind of like I remember one, and during like the prayer itself when they were praying for me, I just kind of like looked up a little bit, and like I see all these people that like motivate me and inspire me, and they're praying for me. Like it was almost like, wait, what? Like I don't know, like I just felt very thankful. Like I remember feeling like that. If you had seen me a few days before that event, I was just very tired, sad, like upset, and like even in the pictures that I'll put up, like you could see how happy I was. Like I was completely different, and it wasn't just like talking to them, it was the fact that all of this was kind of like given to me, like God placed it in my way. Like even though I was feeling like maybe I shouldn't go anymore, maybe I should stay home, maybe like it's okay, like the tickets are paid for, so like someone else can use up that space, like all these thoughts that I had before, and then like feeling this high, if that makes any sense. Like I was very low and like a few days before, and then now having all these things making me feel very blessed and very honored, and just so many things. Like I was just super thankful. So as I mentioned, like it was just very, it was a lot for me to take in. Like it kind of made me realize, you know what, why, all these people, they're so creative and they express themselves in such different yet such amazing ways. Like why should I be afraid of who I am? Why should I? And a lot of the times, like before, um, like my friends know that I'm Christian and I'm a pastor's daughter, but a lot of people who either like follow me on Instagram or kind of just know about me, they don't really know all that stuff. And I think it's because when I was younger, I would get bullied and I would get kind of put down when people would find out that I was a pastor's daughter. Like, they would kind of criticize me, and like I said, sometimes it would be like put on a spotlight, or it would just be very degrading, almost like the language that they would use to me or around me when they found out that. So I was always very guarded and very like defensive about it. So, and I think that's like one of the main reasons that I'm so quiet a lot of the times, is because I'm so protected about everything that's happened in my past. So like this event in specific kind of made me realize I'm not alone in this community, you know, like there's so many people that went there to worship. And so all those feelings that I got during the actual concert and then after, just feeling very happy and excited, it really motivated me to start this in the first place. So I'm just really thankful and blessed, and just very excited for my future. I'm going to start making more videos. I'm going to start being unapologetically myself. I'm not going to be scared of what people say, and I owe it all to this specific concert, because I think it really did change a lot in my life, and God knew exactly what I needed and He placed it in my way. So if any of you are watching that are from that tour, thank you so much. Like, I know I'm probably like in your comments and like liking your pictures and like sharing your stuff, so I'm such a fangirl, but I'm also very, thankful, and I'm very like blessed to have met you guys and to have seen, the incredible ways that you are worshiping God and the incredible ways that He's using you. So, again, thank you so much for anyone who watched this video. My next few videos will probably not be as serious, but I did want to kind of put this out there to be able to share with all of you why I wanted to do this, and what inspired me to do this. So again, I'm really just thankful and blessed, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little spiel. And again, I will be inserting some of the videos and pictures afterwards, and also their links below. So again, thank you so much if you watch this, and wherever you are, if it's morning or night, I hope you guys have a good one, and God bless you guys. Bye. How could I ever leave? 'Cause you've captured my heart in ways I didn't know I could be captured. You've captured my heart in ways I didn't know that I could be captured. Amen. We will go. We will go. Disciples. We will go baptize them in the fire. Blues, breaking away from the ties, telling all my friends about my new life, kicking off my old shoes, saying goodbye to my old blues, breaking away from the ties, telling all my friends about my. I know God, you will come through. 'Cause I know this ain't hard for you. I know this ain't hard for you. I know this ain't hard for you. I'm feeling like my burdens. Feeling lost to be with you, 'cause your love is like a waterfall, and your love is like you. It's your breath, it's your breath, our lives. So we pour out our praise, we pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lives. So we pour out our praise to you only. It's your breath. Living my life watching the weather, wasting time and chasing fate. I look at the life I've been designing, waiting around for my breakthrough. But I'm pushing my dreams to the side of me, 'cause they
give you my all. I give you my all.